Hello everybody. Well, it's been a wonderful day so far. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm sitting out in the pergola. Been a very busy morning here in our little town. It is the weekend of the rodeo, and so the town is very busy. There's lots of traffic. Quieting down a little bit now because the rodeo's actually started. But we had a little parade, and I've got some clips I'm going to show you of the little parade. And I've been working in the garden this morning, and Gary's, if you probably can hear him, he's trimming the hedge finally. But it's really hot. I think it's around 34 degrees Celsius. I don't know. There's quite a bit of humidity, not as much as we've had in the past few days. We've had it up to like 40 degrees with the humidity, but I don't think it's quite that bad today. It's a little bit drier. That's why I'm out. There's no bugs, no mosquitoes, no horseflies, and I don't think I told you my horsefly story. How about I do that now? A week or so ago, I was out in the garden in my perennial bed, and I was just walking around. I wasn't even working. I wasn't sweating or anything. And there was something buzzing around my head, but there's always something buzzing around my head, usually bees or something, and I don't pay attention. And all of a sudden, I felt a pain in my leg. And I looked down, and there was a big horsefly. I had blue jeans on because when I work in the garden, I cover myself up because of the bugs. And I had old blue jeans. They were quite thin, but even so. The horsefly was on my leg, and it had bit me through the jeans. And it hurt. It really hurt. So I went in the house, and I usually, what I've been told over the years is if you get a really bad bug bite, you take some mud and you put it on that bite. Well, I had jeans on. I wasn't going to drop my drawers in the middle of my yard. So I ran into the house and I took off my pants, and there was 2 big bite marks. Like it looked like a vampire had eaten part of my leg. Great big round bites, and my leg immediately swelled up. So I washed it with some Dettol, and I put some Petrocarbo, which is a Watkins product that is really good for bug bites. I put some of that on, and the pain stopped, but the leg kept swelling and swelling. So I kind of watched it for a while, and the swelling didn't go down, but it wasn't hurting me anymore, so I went about my business. And the next day I was feeling kind of achy and headachy, but not horrible. The second day after that, though, I was really sick. I was so dizzy, I couldn't see straight, I was nauseated, and this went on for about 3 days. Until I decided to slice that thing open. So I did. I sterilized a needle and I poked it through, and there was a bunch of pus and stuff in there because it was a hard knob. Anyway, it cleared up, and I've been fine since I did that. So I really think that was a bad bug bite. That's a hard one to say. Anyway, today there's no bugs, there's no mosquitoes, there's dragonflies around, which are wonderful. There's bees, but they're in the garden, and no horseflies to be seen. And this is the time of year when the horseflies, that's a bee. This is the time of year when the horseflies are around, and we have a lot of horses around here, as you will see in this little parade. This is just some of the families who have horses, but almost everybody around here has horses. So I'm going to put that little video on, but I am stitching out here. What I've always wanted to do in this pergola since the day we put it up was spend an afternoon out here doing something. So, I don't want to drop my needle. So I'm working on the last little bit of the Pookie Bear. Now, I'm just going to put you down a little bit so you can see. I have very little left to go. I've got this piece, which is an inside of an arm, and I've done most of it. And I've got I've started this other arm, and I have the other inside piece to do of the other arm. which I have finished the outside. And I got one ear, well, an ear, and I've started this ear. I haven't quite finished it. And then all I have to do is just the feet. And then I'm done. I've done all the body parts, all the head parts, almost all the ears. And I hope today I'm going to finish all the arm parts. So all I'll have left to do is the feet parts. And really, this side of the foot already has stuff on it, so there's not going to be much to do here. So I'm really making tracks, and the reason I'm making tracks on this is that the little girl, Olive, who is going to get this bear, she lives in the Yukon, and she is my great niece. I have to think about that for a minute. Anyway, her grandpa, my nephew, is coming for a visit in August, and so I want to have this finished so that I can send it back home with him for her. So that is the plan. So I'm going to stitch away here in this beautiful little environment, and I don't know, I think this is actually the perfect summer day for me anyway. So let's do some stitching, shall we? And while I stitch, I'm going to talk, because I have an idea that I want to share with you, and maybe we can do sort of a stitch along on that idea. So let me turn you down, and I got to put on some glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Aren't they just so grand? Okay, I'm going to turn you down, and let's get stitching. It's coming on. There's your TV, Jerry. KTM, the radio station. Look at this. It's our garbage man. Huh? Yeah. I don't know. Erndales? Government. These are the guys that keep our roads clear in the winter. For which we are. And this is that puppy's gonna be hot in there. McCrary Pool. Oh yeah. Look at that. Auctioneer. Oh, here comes the best part. Here comes the horses. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. There's our friend Ellen and his family. What's the parish? Look at these beauties here. Gorgeous. Yeah. And that's it. So I believe when I introduced this project that I mentioned that I want to do one of these for me. And I'm not going to do it in this style. I want to do it with sort of as a memory bear, using fabric that belonged to my mother, my aunt, my great-grandmother, vintage fabrics, vintage laces, vintage trims. I have a lot of that kind of thing. And I want to do it, instead of doing the fabric first and then backing it and stitching through 2 layers, I just want to cut out the whole bear in a piece of cotton and add my pieces on like I would with any other regular slow stitch project. So that is my idea, and I actually found the pattern for this, where I got this pattern from, and I got this pattern, Pookie, although the one in the book isn't called Pookie. There's another one in the book that is called Pookie, but it's not this one. I have this pattern from a book that I've had for probably 40 years. And I thought I could perhaps put the pattern on a PDF, and if anybody wanted it, I could give you access to it. You could print it out, and we could do one of these bears together. Maybe do a video a week or something like that. No, not like this one in particular, but the memory one that I'm talking about, a real slow stitch project. This is slow stitch too, but I sort of did this one backwards. So if any of you are interested in that, I could do that, because I'm not going to be selling the pattern. I'm just going to be sharing it with you, and it's an old pattern, obviously. The book is really old. So I don't think that there's any harm in doing something like that. So as long as you're not going to take that pattern and sell it. And I don't think there's any of my subscribers who would do such a thing. So that's sort of what's in the back of my mind. And I've been sort of going through my fabrics and things and picking out some pieces that I could use for that project. Now, I won't be starting that, obviously, till this is finished. But like I say, once these pieces are all stitched, all I have to do is sew it together and stuff it, which won't take long at all. So there are two sizes of this non-jointed bear. One is 16 inches, which is what this one is, and the other is 18 inches. And I'm sort of toying with the idea of doing the bigger bear, but I think actually the 16 inch is going to be good enough for what I want to do it with. I also had an idea that it would be kind of nice to find old vintage jewelry pieces that belong to people that I love. I have my mom's really old watch. It doesn't work, but I thought I could make a fancy little band somehow and put it on the bear's wrist. I'm talking about the bear that I'll do for myself, of course. I have a locket that also was my mom's, and she actually gave it to me, oh, I don't know, I wasn't very old. And it's got my picture of my parents' wedding picture inside of it, and the top of it is gone. I don't know whatever happened to it. It's gold. I don't know what happened to the one top. So I could do something with that and add that in some way. You know, there's a lot of things that a person can do. I have pieces still of my wedding dress that I could add to it. I have, now you might not have seen this. If you're a fairly new subscriber here, you might not have seen this video, and I will put the link in the description for it, or maybe I'll put an end card so that you can just click on it. Oops, what did I do here? A long time ago, several years ago, I did a video on a quilt that my great-grandmother Effie started, and she started it. It's all hand-pieced and tiny little stitches, and there was the portion that she started, all the pieces to keep on going, and it's got vintage, and I mean really vintage, maybe even antique fabrics in it. I keep taking it out of the box, laying it all out and looking at it, and then I put it back in the box because, number one, I'm really not a quilter. I'm a wannabe quilter, but I would never ever be able to start on a project like that because it is sort of diamond shapes and you sew them all together. Well, you go and watch the video and then you'll know what I mean. Anyway, it's been bothering me that has been sitting in a box, My aunt had it for years. She was a quilter and she never did anything with it. And one time when I was down there to visit her, she presented it to me. She said, "This is from your great-grandmother. You should make this quilt." And as lovely as an idea is that I could do something like that, I can't. So it's been bothering me that it's been sitting in the box all these years. I mean, I've had it probably for 30 years, maybe even longer than that. And it's still sitting in the box, and all that gorgeous fabric is not being used. So I thought perhaps I could use some of the fabric on my memory bear. And the other thing I thought was there's so much fabric cut out already that I probably could, instead of doing that quilt, because I have no idea what it's called or even how to go about putting it together, perhaps I could use the pieces and do EPP on it instead. That I could do. So, yeah, that's another thought that's going through my mind. But for sure, I think I could snag a few of those pieces for my bear, and I think it would be really cute. So those are things that are going through my mind. And I've cast on a bunch more socks for my Christmas knitting. And I'm halfway through a pair of socks for a gift for a friend who lost her daughter. I'm not close enough in miles to go over and give her a hug. And I thought maybe she would appreciate a nice pair of socks, and I know she would actually. So I've got one sock done, and I have to do the other. So I have been busy, and I've been busy in the garden, as always. And now, the next week or so, I'm going to try and get my house ready for my nephew's visit, which I am so excited about. I haven't seen him in quite a few years. Actually, I haven't seen him in 18 years. And he is the son of my brother Wayne, who passed away last year, or a year ago, over a year ago, 22 months ago or so. And we have a lot of talking to do, my nephew and I, for some closure. So yeah, it's going to be lovely. He's coming on his own. His wife is not coming with him, so he has a lot of family on both sides, both his mother's side and his dad's side, to visit. And he will be in Manitoba for a couple of weeks, but I'm sure he'll be here for a few days anyway, I hope, so we can catch up on everything and just have a nice time together. He's a sweet, sweet man. So that's why I really want to get this bear done, because I want to get this to Little Olive. And speaking of Little Olive, the other night I was sitting, actually I think I had my phone in my hand and I was looking for something. I don't know what I was looking at. Something on the internet, probably Pinterest or something. And beep, something beeped, and I looked, and it was a video of Olive baking cookies from my great niece. So I asked her if I could share it here with you, and she said yes, sure. So here is a video of little Olive, who is not going to be 3, she's going to be 2 in September. I thought she was going to be 3. That's, senior moment on my part. Anyway, here's little Olive, cute as a button, making cookies with her mom. And I'll see you after that video.
Ready? Ready. Just wait, you gotta move it over here. Good job. Good job. Ready? Okay, Mom's just gonna adjust these cookies a little bit. There we go. Ready? Here you go. Ready? Good job. Gonna fix it. Oh, no. It's gonna go right here.
Right there.
Right there. Leave it there. It's okay. It didn't need to be rolled. It's okay.
Whoa.
It's okay.
No.
We're running out of cookie dough, hey? That's the sad thing about it. You did it. Good job. Hey. Okay, ready? Look, we're just about done.
Hi. Hi. I'm a cookies.
You make cookies?
Yeah. Hi.
Here. Are you gonna focus?
Yeah.
We only got a couple more to make. Ready? Don't touch the cookies.
Hi. That's the cookie.
Ready?
Look. Hi. I'm happy.
You're helping?
Yeah.
1 second. We gotta scoop up cookie dough with it.
Mama.
Ready?
Mama.
Hey, focus.
Mama. No.
This is the last cookie.
Cookies.
It'll just be a little baby cookie. Can you say that? Baby cookie.
Cookies.
Ready? Ta-da!
Good job. Hi.
This morning, when I first came out, I was picking red currants. I have a really small, well, I have 3 small red currant bushes. They're not very big. And one of them was just loaded with currants. I noticed this a couple of weeks ago. And I've been watching the birds because they weren't ready for picking a couple of weeks ago, but I knew that I would see when they would be ready when I saw birds monkeying around in there. Sure enough, this morning I looked out and I could see birds flying up and down in there. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go pick currants. And I didn't think I'd even have enough for a pint of jelly. But I got more than I expected. And I'm excited because I grew up in a family of berry pickers. My dad in particular was crazy about picking berries. He would pick as soon as any kind of wild berries were on the tree. He would have pails and we would all have to go out and pick berries. And that was back in a time when there was an abundance of wild berries. So we picked Saskatoons and choke cherries and wild cranberries and blueberries. And my mom made canned fruit out of them. She made jams and jellies, pies. It just, I was raised on that. And you cannot really find very many wild berries anymore. The farmers have sprayed their crops and all the roadside berry trees are long gone, which is too bad because when I was a kid, Man, there was lots. We would just pick berries. Many a road trip was interrupted by my father spotting a berry bush, and we'd have to stop the car and go and pick berries. This was how much he loved picking berries. But to his defense, he grew up in the Depression, and he was a farm boy, grew up in the prairies here in Manitoba, and in their lifetime, when they were children, that was food. That was free food, and they took advantage of that kind of thing back then. So he always instilled in us the berry picking idea. So today, when I was picking my currants, which are not wild, they're a domestic brand, or whatever you call them. Something just crawled up my back. Yeah, I was thinking of Dad, because I haven't actually picked very many berries in my adult life. So he came to mind, and I'm sure he would have been, maybe he was, sitting right beside me picking currants. So I have a nice pile of currants that I'm going to make some currant jam or jelly, I think jelly, with. And I'm looking forward to having that, because there's nothing better than jams and jellies made from berries. My favorite always was chokecherry jelly. And I don't know if you know anything about chokecherry, but they're a very bitter little berry. They look like a Saskatoon or a blueberry. They're darker, they're a little smaller, and they're bitter. You wouldn't think that they would make good jelly or jam, but they made wonderful, the best tasting. They're a little bit tart, but just a completely different flavor than blueberry or Saskatoon. All right, I'm almost done this. I don't know that I'm going to do much here, and then I just have to finish here. All right, what's left here? I need a little bit more. I don't know if I have. Yes, I have a little bit more. I'm just using my bundle, stash, whatever you call it, tangle. Marion calls it the best. I'm just using my tangle for this, getting rid of little pieces of yarn that or thread. And this tangle was like that big before I started my yearly daily stitch for a year. I really whittled it down to just this much. And all these threads are just unknown threads. I have really no idea what the numbers of them are, so they go with the tangle. So I'm just going to split this one up here. 2 strands is what I'm using. And that's how I split my yarn, my thread. Why do I keep calling it yarn? I don't know. So here is my progress on the bear. The next time probably I show it, I'll be stuffing it. I have to get some stuffing. I don't have any. I have various bits and pieces, but I actually want to stuff this with some good fiber fill because it is going to be for a child, so I have to purchase some. And while we're talking about projects, I'm sorry that I haven't started the box project yet. It's still coming up, but I have a few roadblocks. Number one is I have no white glue, and I have no place here to buy it. I have to go to a larger center. So we haven't been anywhere for the whole month of July, and we probably won't be going anywhere maybe not even in August, I don't know. So until I get the glue, because that's what I use, I use diluted white glue. Until I get more glue, I can't do that project. So if you're thinking that I forgot, don't think that I haven't forgot. It's just that I don't have glue. I have everything else, but I don't have glue. So that will happen. Maybe once my company is come and gone, and maybe once summer is settled down a little bit. Right now, I just really want to be out here stitching or knitting. You know, finally the weather has straightened out so that we can actually enjoy this space. So that's all I'm going to do on that part. So everybody have a really good week, and take care, stay healthy, stay cool if you're hot, wherever you are, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.